Okay, hi guys. So I wasn't really prompted to do another recording. I was just more like, reached out to Spirit for some downloads. And what Spirit said, and what Spirit says is, well, it's no surprise. I don't know why I love to stoop. I like feeling down there. So, speaking of Chinese astrology, we are doing the um, fifth year of a 12-year cycle, and the fifth year is in Scorpio, death and transformation. I think um, the most babies are going to be born this year of the whole 12-year cycle. That doesn't mean a lot of babies are going to be born this year or conceived this year. Okay, it just means that majority. Okay, it just means that this year of the whole 12-year cycle, this year, majority of the babies that will be born in this 12-year cycle will be born this year or conceived this year. So conceived this year could still be born this year. It takes 9 months or less for a baby to be born, developed and born. But there are gonna be some born next year. Okay. So we're looking at most of the babies being born this year and next year. Okay. Year of the rabbit was last year in the early year of the dragon. Year of the rabbit, rabbits, they breed a lot and very quickly too and easily. So the fourth year, the fifth year, and the sixth year, conception and giving birth. The majority of the babies that are going to be born are going to be born this year and next year. Okay, this year is a major transformation. It's a transformative year in which a lot of babies are going to be born, and if not born, conceived. I want to say more babies are going to be born this year than next year. Okay, and the few that are not born this year are going to be conceived this year and born next year. And some, of course, this year too, born this year, conceived this year, born this year. So a smaller portion going to be born next year. Okay. So majority, I must say again, majority of the babies that are going to be born during this 12-year cycle are going to be born this year. So if it's not a lot, judge the small proportion that's going to be born during the other years. We're like in not really the middle, but you could call it the middle because there are 12 years, like the 12 zodiac signs. And so you don't really have a middle year, you have two middles, and that would be 5 and 6. Well, you do kind of have a middle because half of 12 is 6. So you're looking at 5, 6, 7, okay, like spiritually, numerology wise. To major transformation in people's lives, and the whole world and earth on a whole, and that's why you have a lot of earthquakes taking place, occurring, and there are going to be major shifts to the tectonic plates and landscapes and landmarks and just the whole geography of the earth, movements of the earth also, the effect that the moon has on the earth and all the other celestial bodies, planetary bodies and such, asteroids, meteorites, comets, the whole universe, the whole cosmos. A major transformation is occurring in every industry, every area, in every field of human existence, human life. And the music industry, the entertainment industry is no difference. Okay? So, how it goes with Saturn is throughout your life, okay, you're tasked with burdens, and how you maneuver those burdens dictates how these transformations that are going to occur will affect you, whether they'll affect you negatively or positively. So you're gonna have people who are gonna be there's gonna be a complete twist to networks and dynamics and such alike. So you're gonna have people who are super wealthy becoming super impoverished, whether they were from impoverished upbringings, became wealthy, and their latter state becoming worse than their first. Okay, because of how they were on the Wheel of Fortune when it was their time on the Wheel of Fortune. Some abused, you know, their turn on the Wheel of Fortune, and destruction is gonna befall them. Destruction is befalling them, like P Diddy. Okay, whether this was 10 years ago, you got your chance on the Wheel of Fortune. 20 years ago, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80 years ago, 5 years ago, it doesn't matter. This cycle is gonna reward people. This is a very karmic cycle, karmic year. Um, the music industry, there's gonna be an upstart, a shift there too. Um, and the entertainment, which includes music and acting and all that, and all kinds of performing, dancing, and whatever, choreography, whatever. So the ones who got in late, their time is going to be very short on the Wheel of Fortune because they've already been tainted, and they got in and got tainted right before the bullshit cycle comes to an end. Let's say, like, for example, Tilla or Tala, whatever her name is, and others who just came in like her. Because, like I said, if you're not easily manipulated, if you're not uh, frightened Friday, they're not going to open the gate for you. They have to be able to control you, tell you what to do, who to be with, the image to project and portray for them to open the gate. These so called gatekeepers, P. Diddy, Jay Z, and others. So, there are going to be a lot of spiritual musicians on the rise, a lot of breaking, new artists out there. Prepare for that. And music is going to get so much better than it has ever been because these are the true musicians, people who are not in it for fame, attention, or even fortune, but because that's their calling, their destiny. They're passionate about it. It's not about the money and the attention. you know. I myself is one. Look out for Quincy on the rise. And guess what? All these so called gatekeepers, they're not real. Because Spirit is the only gatekeeper of every and anything, even in the Matrix. Because the Spirit, is greater than the flesh. Without the Spirit, the flesh is dead, lifeless, it rots and decays. The spiritual realm is what gives the physical realm life, vitality, movement, force. Talking about physics right there, quantum physics. And the past, present, and future are intertwining. The veils have completely thinned out. I've been saying the veils are thinning out. They're now gone. And the spirits are here more. Their presence are going to be made more apparent than ever before. That's what I'm getting. And these aren't messages that I got when I reached out to Spirit a few minutes ago, but they're coming in now. But the prime message was new artists on the rise, and we are the ones that no so-called gatekeeper can hinder. People, we're strongly influenced not just by the moon, but the whole cosmos on a whole. When Pluto moves into a new frequency, human existence is affected by that. The said with Uranus, Saturn, Neptune, Mercury, Venus, Mars, Jupiter, and of course Gaia herself, Earth. And there's a transformation. Pluto shift frequencies, and we're in the year of Pluto, fifth house in Scorpio, which is ruled by Pluto. Major death and transformation, physical death, financial death, spiritual death, emotional death, psychological death, mental death, philosophical death. And physical death, not just dead, 6 feet under dead, but changes to the human body, changes to norms, dogmas, what's considered the usual, what's considered normal. Of course, I've always been saying there's no such thing as normal, but the signs, they say there is, and then they say there isn't. Historis rules tradition and norms, what we are used to. But its opposite frequency, Scorpio, kills that and brings death and puts an end to what is used to. And there's a strong spotlight on Scorpio right now. So, people say, okay, things aren't what they used to be like. No. And things will never always be what they're like. They'll only seem a certain way for a certain period of time, and then they have to change. And it will always be like this, even in the future. It's always been like this. Time has never remained the same. It's been similar for a period of time, and then it changes. That's norm. That's what's normal. Change is what's normal. Change is the only thing that's constant. Okay? And that's what connects Taurus, Scorpio, and, the fixed signs. Taurus, which is tradition, the past. Uh, Leo, which is seasonal change. Scorpio, which is death and transformation. generational change, which is how you got generation what do they call it? Generation gap, in which different generations perceive life and living differently. And Aquarius, which embodies sudden change, sudden change, eccentricities, taboos, things that are not used to and considered the norm. But you know, they. I mean, it's the only thing that's constant. Aquarius, because there will always be change. Okay, there will be used to's for a period of time, and then there will be Aquarius that comes in and change the used to's to different used to's. If you get what I mean. So new artists on the rise. Look how for us. I also want to say this because I've been like, I don't think I was afraid of flying as a kid, but ever since Aaliyah died, her spirit attached itself to me. And be so she died in a plane crash, I have developed a strong fear of traveling, especially via aircraft. And so, I'm in Jamaica, beautiful Jamaica, paradise, personified, minus the violence and all of that shit, which we know that's fucking everywhere. I'm not a show or stage performer. I write my songs, I record in my studios, and I pretty much that's how I'll connect with my fans, as well as via social media. In terms of performing live at shows, I could do that, but that will definitely be in my home country as far as I can see right now, because I have no intention of traveling. People will want to see me and will want to interact with me, but guess what? People will have to come here in Jamaica to hear Queen Sia and see Queen Sia perform. Uh, in a little way, I am patriotic. So that will be good for my country, tourism wise. You know, um, that will be good for uh, the revenues here and capitalism here and stuff like that. And it's not necessarily intentional, but I'm afraid of flying. We're all afraid of something, no matter how strong and brave and courageous we may seem, we still are all afraid of something. And flying is something that I do fancy because, like I said, Aaliyah's spirit is attached itself to me, and she died that way. Scorpio rules fears, and death. She died that way, so only natural her spirit fears flying, and be so it attached itself to me. I in turn fear flying, if you get what I mean. Cliche. So that's what I have right now. I feel like it's time for resting. My spirit wants me to rest, and I'm gonna have need some rest. So, namaste, guys. See you all next time.